stage Giles Morrison, who is our General Manager of Marketing Communications for the Bravia brand in Sony Europe. Ben Sizer, who is the head of the Sony account of Fallon, the advertising agency. See, he comes in. And we also have Ben Scott, who is the set designer responsible for this amazing construction here tonight. It'd be interesting to hear your stories behind making that happen. And then our guest of honour is Sarah Morasan, who is the General Manager of the Marketing Strategy Division at Sony for the TV business group in Tokyo. I'm going to hand over to you guys now, who can give us an overview of the evening, this fantastic campaign.
Thank you for joining our Sony's event tonight. And my name is Sawamura, head of TV marketing in Tokyo. And I am very much emotionally excited that today's event. There is 2 reasons. We are celebrating the world first technology of 200 Hz technology. That our Sony engineers makes always impossible possible. And we have a kind of DNA of we like to be told, Sony made a game that impossible possible. So that's our nature. So then we will be keep innovating our products. And this 200 Hz is one of our cutting edge technology. So then in order for us to communicate to the worldwide consumers who always wants to have something new from Sony, we need your help. And throughout today's events, the key theme is motion. But I would like to add on another word, which is emotion. So then I would like to share today's excitement as an emotion. And then through the football and famous player Kaká, together with the Sony brand, so then we would like to make enormous noise into the market. And then without having the help of those people, we cannot come to today's event. I once again appreciate all the agencies and Sony Europe, also not only the Sony Europe, but also today we have Managing Director of Sony Italy, Judas, my colleague. Where is Judas? Yeah. Thank you for making this, facilitating this event safely and nicely. And I really appreciate that all of your help. On behalf of Sony Tokyo management, once again, all the press people, we would like to have your strong support to communicate to worldwide consumers, to impress the Sony makes again impossible possible. So you will see lots of news from now. So please expect Sony's active move with emotions. Thank you very much.
Talk to you about the context and also about the idea behind this piece of work. So, first of all, if you just imagine for a moment that I'm Sir Howard Stringer, our CEO, and I can read out what he said recently in one of the press conferences. No other content company has Sony's intuitive grasp of technology, and no other content company has Sony's intimate understanding of the creative possibilities of content. The key thing to take out from that is that there is an implication in everything that we do now as the Sony brand, in terms of our communications, in terms of our product development. We are always going to be playing within the entertainment platforms, which are the entertainment experiences which our consumers are interested in, are engaged with, and that has a bearing on the ideas that we come to the consumers with within our communications. And our brand vision is to be the leading digital entertainment company in the 21st century. It's something which is beholden on us to get across in every single piece of our communications that we do. And I think we've managed to do that very clearly in some of our past communications, but we're now sharpening that up in some of the new work that we're doing, and this is one of the first iterations of that. So actually, to give you a bit of context of previous Bravia campaigns that have been successful and how we're going to work within that Bravia history, I'm going to hand over to Ben, I think, next.
The Bravia campaign that has been developed so far. So as Giles mentioned, if Sony are to be the leading digital entertainment brand of the 21st century, then our communications and our advertising campaigns need to bear that approach. So therefore, when we are thinking about developing a campaign, we think very much about developing an entertainment property that consumers can engage with, rather than just the traditional advertising campaigns. And one of the ways in which we manage to achieve this is, with Bravia particularly, what is part of Bravia's DNA, is doing everything for real. And therefore, if we do it for real, we create an event. And we have an expression that we use at Fallon, and also that Sony use, which is that Bravia does things the hard way. And I think it's important to note that we're not doing things the hard way for the sake of it. We're doing things the hard way so that we can develop a more genuine, real and immersive experience for our consumers. And I think that is the distinction. That's what makes us iconic. And obviously, naturally, that approach, amongst others, manages to get us a lot of attention. And it's very rare that advertising campaigns manage to genuinely infiltrate popular culture. So this is something we're really proud of. And fundamentally, the coverage, the PR coverage that we generate is invaluable. Furthermore, I think it's worth noting that in the online environment, it's a real achievement that we have consumers actively seeking our content and actively sharing our content. Normally, advertising tries to interrupt the consumer. We have consumers actually trying to seek us. So that's something we're obviously very proud of. I think, and overall, we've taken what could potentially have been a very cold and technical story, and we've made it as warm as we possibly could, and we brought, I think, a lot of humanity to the Bravia brand and the Sony brand. So fundamentally, doing our best to transform the consumer perception of Bravia and, of course, Sony. Over to you, John.
But of course, as always happens in the technology world, things move on. So although talking about colour and about high definition, and those kind of stories were very relevant in the last 3 years, the battleground has changed now. It's moved on. The next battleground is about motion and about motion technology. And as Murasan mentioned in his introduction, our proprietary technology, our proprietary 200 Hz technology is Motionflow technology. I'll just explain to you very quickly what that is. Adds extra frames to the signal that you get on your TV, and therefore makes it a much smoother, much more lifelike viewing experience than current televisions. So you end up with a viewing experience which is much more like real life. So I think the best example really comes from, for example, if you're watching sports. If you're watching football, you will notice when you go back and look on your TV at home, probably tonight, or in the TV in the hotel, that if you were watching a particularly fast-moving game, the ball was flying across the screen, you'd probably see a shudder on it, a blur, simply because the TV is not quick enough to refresh the picture in the way that your eyes would be if you were watching that from real in the stadium. And this technology gets over that issue, and you end up with essentially a much more smooth, much more realistic viewing experience. So there's a very tangible consumer benefit that this product delivers. And as I mentioned at the beginning of my bit, we want to be playing here within entertainment platforms, within entertainment experiences that consumers are really interested in. And of course, one of the most interesting ones for consumers, especially in Europe, but on a global basis, is of course football. Football is a global sport. It is increasingly wide in its audience appeal. It is not just a male-dominated entertainment platform, and when Sony has the right to be playing within that entertainment platform. It is, just to give you a few facts, if you think about the World Cup final will be watched in person by 100,000 people in the stadium, and then will be watched on TV by 700 million people around the world. That is a lot of people who are accessing that entertainment through ultimately the kind of products that we make, and ultimately we can add to that experience. We can make it better for them. So hence our connection to football now. We are now one of the key partners for FIFA and UEFA as well. It's also very relevant for this particular technology because football is speeding up, as it says here.
But obviously, I guess the inspiration was the oldest form of motion, which is the zoetrope. And given that we are now moving towards the latest technology in motion, we took that old inspiration and we modernised it and effectively brought to life the BRAVIA-drome. So it's really no more complicated than that. Like our previous Bravia ideas, it requires simplicity, and we feel that this is a very simple idea, dramatising motion. But I think it's also it's been an incredibly difficult task actually bringing this to life. So Ben Scott, who is the set designer, who designed and helped the production of this zoetrope BRAVIA-drome, will just talk you through some statistics now.
So the BRAVIA-drome has 64 images inside, which rotate at precisely 25 frames a second, and that translates to about 44 kilometers an hour, and it's at its optimum speed for the camera. It's 15 meters in diameter. It takes 10 guys 3 days to fully assemble. There are 10,000 nuts and bolts that all have to be tightened and then retightened and then checked in. And then finally there are 50,000 lights which make the whole thing work.